Curtain Jerks is brought to you by Audible.com. Get your free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android. Whoa! Lightning! Smoke!
Yeah, love to read. Yeah,
Macho Man Randy Savage, what are you doing here?
Yeah, love to read. Talking about reading, yeah, got a book right here,
Hey, wait a minute. You know, with audible.com /audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network.
There's a lot of slashes in there. I don't know if any of those are accurate.
Really? Let me try that again. You know, at audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network, you can read things with your ears on your iPhone, your Android, your Kindle, or your MP3 player.
What do you mean? I don't have to pick up a book no more?
Yeah, you had the most muscular pinky I'd ever seen when you picked up that book.
That's right. See, the problem is that I have with books is they're my enemy, yeah. Because I always get paper cuts. That's why I always got tape on my fingers,
Macho Man Randy Savage, you don't have to cut your fingers anymore on books. You can listen to these books.
No more paper cuts?
No more paper cuts.
The beauty of Audible is I got no more paper cuts, so I can read even more with my ears.
That sounds like a hell of a slogan. The beauty of Audible is no more paper cuts.
No more paper cuts for the Macho Man, no. So you telling me that I gotta pay for no more paper cuts?
See, that's the beauty part, Macho Man Randy Savage. With this, you get a free audiobook once you use the Curtain Jerks promo code.
Free audiobook? Yeah, dig it.
That's free, and then you're also going to be free of paper cuts.
Free of paper cuts, free downloads, free everything. The show is free. I like it.
You know what, Macho Man Randy Savage? You're welcome.
Let's go to the circus.
Let's do it.
Welcome, everyone, to Curtain Jerks right here on the Comedy Podcast Network. I'm Scott Narver.
And I am Steve Sears.
And this is a very special Get Jerked episode of the 1989 WWE Royal Rumble.
The place, Houston, Texas.
The inner place, the summit.
The time, 1989.
The more specific time, probably around 4:30 p.m.
Yeah, probably 4:30. The Federation,
World Wrestling. What the world is watching.
lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt.
Mountains.
Mountains, flying, low helicopter.
Mean Gene voice. Very exciting to start. This is 80s. This is what I started with. I love 80s wrestling.
It's fantastic.
Steve is not well versed in the 80s wrestling.
No, I'm now totally stoked on it. It's awesome. It's like watching superheroes. It was like watching a Saturday morning cartoon, but alive.
Because you jumped in when? You're Monday Night Wars guy?
The end of the Monday Night Wars. I started watching in high school.
Well, people don't know when that is. People don't know
the
how
end of
old
the
you
Monday
are.
Night Wars.
Well, yeah, but what year? Give him some years.
The first episode I can remember was of SmackDown with the Radicals showing up with Benoit, Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, and Perry Saturn.
Whoa! We don't say Malenko on this show, buddy.
I don't care how many holds he has.
This is a family show. We don't talk about that guy and all of his holds.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Hold for Malenko.
Okay, so you were watching. That's 2000. That's 2000.
Was it right before The Undertaker came back? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, with the Iron Man match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Kid
excited to see that pay-per-view, but I didn't have that much cable.
So you have very little exposure to the 80s. As was covered on last week's episode, you had not seen a Jake the Snake Roberts match.
And I did not see a Jake the Snake Roberts match in this pay-per-view either.
Yes, you did.
He showed up and got promptly eliminated.
He was in a match.
The Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but he was in a match.
That's true.
He was in a match.
I was looking forward to hearing his music, but they didn't play music for people coming out for this Royal Rumble.
Music for the first two entrants, but again, we'll get to
the
that.
winner.
Yes, and
who
and
was
the winner.
spoiler alert? We'll
The
tell
winner.
you later.
And we'll, of course, have guests stopping by and everything. So we had Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura as our commentators, and our ring announcer was the Fink, Howard Finkel.
With
This
hair.
Yeah. What was left?
Yeah.
This is exciting. This is great 80s stuff. And our first match of the night was Dino Bravo with the Fabulous Rougeau brothers with Jimmy Hart and Frenchie Martin versus the Hart Foundation with Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
This was awesome.
This was a 6 versus 6, 2 out of 3 falls match. 3-on-3 match. That's what I mean. A 3-on-3 tag match.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 falls.
It was great.
It was packed with colors and stereotypes.
And bits.
Yeah, tons of bits. And this crowd was eating it up.
Oh, man, they were going crazy.
They were going crazy. You were lighting up.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about the logistics of it. So you were saying, what, 75% of the arena were probably people who are still like, this is real. This is real wrestling. And the other, but it was also like, that's a little bit strange real, but it's real.
Yeah, other people going, well, come on.
And
Hold on.
you'd only get to see wrestling once a week at that point for what, maybe 40 minutes? Even less? There wasn't 2-hour programming back then.
No, I mean, maybe some weird NWA stuff, or depending on where you lived, really, I suppose is what you got.
Just a loud 1989, like, wrestling is the coolest thing on the planet roar going.
We got to go to something!
Yeah, exactly. It was very...
We don't have apps!
And the fact that you only get to see 40 minutes of somebody on TV and then getting to see them live fighting someone and actually seeing how big they are, it's like, that was really intense. It was cool. I had that optimism. I could feel the optimism that they didn't even, it wasn't even optimism. They just were totally into it.
Oh, let me go back. Let me jump back a little bit. I didn't jot this down. In between the first match and this, we had a la Academy Awards who we're going to see this evening.
Oh, yeah. Vince McMahon does a colorful, just incredible breakdown of every entrant into the Royal Rumble.
And I think it's live because sometimes when they show the picture,
He would stop
or rush to the next one as it switched over. Mm-hmm. So this was amazing because this would be great back in the day, but if you were a fan, you knew who everybody was. For Steve, it was
the roster.
It was the roster. It was the introductions, the how do you
It
do's.
was the cast.
Yeah, he was getting familiar with. He joked on the show. He doesn't know who Coco Beware is.
Starring Coco Beware.
Yeah.
Coco who?
Coco Cabana.
Coco Cabana.
His podcast is great.
What was really funny about it was, like, it just, as a sort of grammar nerd, at one point Vince McMahon, he's saying all the names, and then at one point he stops and he's like, and Red Rooster. And then he just keeps going. Like, he wasn't the last one. The last one
Yeah, he kept thinking it was the last one with the ands.
Because you go comma, and then that's the last one. That's how you'd write it in a sentence. But he kept saying and, like, every sixth guy. And I was like, man, he's just really, like, he's turning the page. He's turning the page. That's why he's saying and. What I really liked about this opening match was, at one point, I think Jesse says, and it's international rules. They don't even explain that. They just say it's international rules. And immediately I remembered, like, so what we know about wrestling is the information is so saturated with it. Like, that's the reason why our crowds complain. That's why people are talking shit about wrestlers, opposed to just the way that like, I feel like if you were in that arena in 1989, you just pick somebody based on who you didn't like the way they looked.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be talking about their work rate or what they tweeted or what you think of their personality.
Did you like them? Did you not like them? Are they fun to watch? Okay, for example, in this match, as a kid, I didn't like Dino Bravo. I found him boring.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's pretty much all I could articulate at the time. It wasn't his work rate. It wasn't his promos. It wasn't any of that stuff. It was just like, I don't like him.
Yeah, and I think that's really what it should be. It should just be, I think, if anything, I'd appreciate it if people didn't have a justification why they didn't like people. It's like, I don't like him because he's a poor worker and he wears this and blah 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 and he's bad on this. Like, no, just say you don't like him. That's all. You don't have to convince me. I fucking believe you that you don't like him. It's the
don't have a conversation about it. Don't break it down. Just be. I don't like him.
But I think the breakdown is what sort of brings in this sort of strange, like, weird quasi-intellectualism that comes with professional wrestling. It makes us all experts on it just because we've watched.
Yeah,
And I think that's
the
what's
tough part is
unnecessary.
saying that they're correct because they've never done it.
Mhm.
That's the hard part. But I tell you,
Well, but hold
his
on.
work rate in this match was not up to par. He
No.
clipped Bret Hart in the head with a missed clothesline that hurt Bret Hart very badly.
Yeah, and I think in defense of Bret Hart, because we're
One of the
staunch
finest
fans.
technicians of all of
Absolutely,
wrestling.
absolutely.
One of the best.
What I like about this time period is you can say international rules and never explain it, and all you have to do is say that, and that to me is just putting a flashy word on the poster at the carnival, being like "man fights bear," and then you don't even have the small print saying "bear subject to change." You know what I mean?
Yeah, it means international rules means flags are involved and you can rake the back legally.
Yeah, all you have to do is say international, and then you have a buzzword. It's like adding mega to powers and getting mega powers.
Oh,
It's an intensifier.
it is an intensifier.
It's a marketing
and they
gimmick.
existed at this time.
Very exciting. It's like the Duchess of Queensberry rules. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Whatever William Regal wants it to
It's
be.
her rules.
Yeah.
It's the Duchess's rules. That was a great match. A very funny part when you mentioned in the match there was a moment where there was a missed clothesline, and I think it was Duggan that went for a clothesline, and he said, like, "Oh, there should be more of that," because he looked like he was trying to fucking take his head off.
Well, I think we've see it so much now, which is you do like someone ducks underneath a clothesline, and you just slowly bring your hand forward.
Yeah, it's just going through the motions to get to the next thing, rather than that. Each moment means as much as it should, because that's the moment of reality.
Yeah, Duggan just fucking whipped it, and he brought his hand in really tight, and it looked like he really could have taken just a cat's head off. He really looked like he could have just punched a cat's head off.
Well, Dino Bravo heard you, because he did the same thing, except his arm was a little too low, or Bret didn't duck enough. Whatever happened,
And he zinged him.
He fucking zinged him, and zinged him good, and Bret went down, and Dino, to his credit, went for the pinfall.
Yeah, he did. You know what that is? That's improvising. Mm-hmm. That's improvising.
He's a good improviser, that Dino Bravo.
Really good improviser.
Deceased.
Well, I guess he didn't get the improv term.
Know whose line is it anyway for Dino Bravo?
No, sir.
The 8th rendition of it coming into air. So it was a great match. The first fall, Raymond Rougeau got it after this very interesting move of, on the top rope, Jacques did a jumping seated, like, I don't know how you even call that thing.
Oh,
imagine the Legion of Doom. You got the tower where you're holding the guy up and you do the clothesline. So you got the tower going, but then instead a guy jumps his ass to your chest.
Oh, it's like
down.
a Frankensteiner, but without a backflip.
Yeah, a Frankenfarter.
Yeah, it was a Frankenfarter.
Yeah, Frankenfarter.
Or a Frankenfarter. He took that fart full force in the chest.
Yeah. Devastating.
Oh, you know
Took
what it was?
Bret Hart out.
What was the Rikishi drop that happened?
On Old School Raw?
Yeah, on Old School Raw. The one that he did.
He just kicks his legs out when he's standing over you. You're going for the sunset flip, and then he just kicks his legs out and falls right on you.
Yeah, essentially it was like that in terms of
but it's
someone
a
off the
huge
top
glitch
rope.
in the video game. That move happens, but he just shoots forward and down on you.
Yeah, he shoots forward and down on you. Shoots forward and down on you.
So they got
Shoots
the pinfall.
forward and down on
They
you.
got the
Shoots
pinfall on
forward
Bret
and
Hart.
down on you.
And the second fall, Hacksaw got the pinfall after a very odd sequence of him slingshotting in Jim the Anvil Neidhart first without tagging.
Yeah, and then Bret on. And then both of them knocked.
Bret landed head first.
Yeah, Bret landed fucking like they cut
Bret's
to the
head took a beating in this match.
They cut to the wide shot on that, but when you see it, it's like. Ugh.
Yeah, because when you slingshot into the ring, if you're holding onto the rope, a la a tag match, and you pull them in, then they just go in horizontally, just straight across and onto the guy's body. Bret didn't do that. Bret went at an angle, and his head went first.
Yeah,
just like flying headbutt.
It was like, it's weird watching this stuff when you see a lot of iconic people throughout the pay-per-view. And so I got to see like a young Bret Hart, sort of like he seemed like Jim the Anvil Neidhart seemed like a much bigger deal than Bret did. And then also later,
he was the exciting one. That when I watched, he was the one I liked. I thought Bret was boring.
Yeah, and then HBK's in it later, and he's the boring one. He's the one that doesn't talk. He's excited, but he's
the Dean Malenko of that group.
Yeah, but he's not intense. I mean, Jannetty's really the money rocker in this pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
But, and then Duggan goes for the pin, and he gets it, and that's the second fall.
Because the ref, he keeps telling the ref to count these splashes as pinfalls, And the ref's like, no, man, you're the guy. You're the legal guy. I'm not counting this. And then Duggan eventually just then goes for the pinfall.
That's complications. Those are stakes.
So first fall to the Rougeaus. Second fall to the good guys, Hacksaw and the Hearts. Third fall.
Well, decisive third fall, Scott. This third fall really. I want to point out that the first fall was an intense match, and like it could have been that if that was the end of the match right there, you would have been very, very, very satisfied. It was super intense. It was back and forth.
Happy ending.
Yeah, Rougeaus would have won, but it would have been an amazing ending. It would have been thrilling. Second one, just as thrilling, incredible. Like using your friends as weapons and dropping them. Now the third ending, while decisive, a little uncreative.
Well, I'll go with you on that.
And I'll in my defense, I'm saying this with the lifetime of context. I'm sure at the time it was incredibly surprising and exciting, but to me it was just like, huh?
It was odd. It was Bret Hart and Dino Bravo left in the ring, and Hacksaw was on the outside, and Bret got knocked down, and then Dino was on the ropes, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan hits Dino Bravo with his 2x4
in the back of the head, which would be a kill shot ordinarily, because any sort of pressure on the back, right at the base of the skull like that.
It could be a concussion shot. I don't know. Kill shot. I mean, maybe if you had nails in there.
Headshot.
Kill shot.
Headshot. It's a kill shot.
Well, it was a pin shot because they got the second fall, which 2 out of 3 falls rules. You got 2, you win.
And it was badass.
They won. The crowd erupted. Very fun. So then we cut to the back of wrestlers picking numbers. Their numbers, their Rumble entrant numbers. And the first one we had was $1 Million Man, who picked his number and was immediately upset. And then started negotiating with the Doctor of Style, Slick.
That's a cool guy. I like that guy.
I love Slick. You know what his song is called, right?
No.
His entrance theme?
How?
Take a guess. After seeing the character
Do they
Slick,
have a music video of it?
Mm-hmm. They sure do. They sure fucking do.
I think I watched that music video, but I can't remember what the title was.
Take a guess. It's the 80s, and you saw the character he played. Take a
It's not the one where he's opening a fried chicken restaurant, is it?
That's the one. Yes, indeed.
It was pretty badass.
Indeed, sir. Take a guess.
I can't remember what it was called.
I know. Hence, it's a guess.
Fried chicken venture capitalism.
So close. Jive Soul Bro.
Oh, Jive Soul Bro. I'm a Jive Soul Bro. That one?
Yes.
That's a good one.
No, the other Jive Soul Bro
I'm
song.
a Jive Soul brother, and you can be one too.
Yeah, that's Josh Groban's Jive Soul Bro.
I believe that's Josh Callahan's song of the 16-Bit
right.
podcast.
Yes, which is available now on iTunes and 16bitspodcast.com.
Rate and review.
Me co-host on there, and we talk about video games, and I occasionally talk about wrestling, and Josh is confused. So he's negotiating with Slick, trying to get a better number because he's got all the money. He can do what he wants. Then we have the Bushwhackers picking numbers. We got the Honky Tonk Man, Bad News Brown, who picks his number and then lets us know it's bad news for everyone else.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And then we got Demolition, and as you said, the Rockers, who really didn't know seemingly what to say.
No, yeah, I think I called that pretty well, which was like, all right, guys, get out there, take your number, say yes, and then get the fuck out of there. I don't want you guys to talk anything. You're jobbers. Nobody likes you.
You're not supposed to be exciting.
Yeah.
Well, exciting in the ring, but then no one wants to get your autograph. They want everybody else who's not coming out of the locker room
Yeah,
yet.
not you guys. That's what it felt like. It felt like they were told to not do anything fun.
And then we had a hell of an event. I mean, this is January 15th, 1989 we're talking about here in Houston, Texas, in the Summit. And you think you're just going to get a Royal Rumble on this night?
No.
No, you're dead fucking wrong. You are dead fucking wrong. If you're dead right now, that's how fucking wrong you are.
Yeah.
Because we had the Super Pose Down.
This was incredible. This was absolutely incredible.
This is hosted by Mean Gene Okerlund in the ring. We have Rick Rude come to the ring with Bobby
Ravishing
Heenan. Ravishing Rick Rude. How dare myself. So dead fucking wrong I am. I'm dead fucking wrong on his name. Ravishing Rick Rude.
He's having a super pose off with
Super Pose Down.
super pose down.
Super Pose Down. That's how
It's a show. It's a show off, showdown with the super pose down.
Yeah.
What are you still doing here?
He's here. He's our Ed McMahon now.
Luke Harper?
I've invited Luke Harper to officially be our Ed McMahon to our Johnny Carsons.
Well, that's how we know if our jokes are playing or not, because he'll agree with us, right?
Yeah, that's when it hits. When we get a Luke Harper, yeah.
Hey, Luke, this segment was like 17 minutes long, right?
Yeah.
It was a long one because it was like it started and they went through all of the major muscle groups except the legs.
I thought you meant our show because it's at 17-minute mark. I'm like, don't give him shit. Give shit to Edge about technical.
Oh, no, yeah, I'll talk to Edge about technicals. Are we doing a play-by-play for the entire pay-per-view?
Well, we're going through all the stuff because there's not that many things.
Yeah, okay. This super pose down, I think this was one of the longest segments I feel like in the entire pay-per-view besides the Royal Rumble match. Did not feel like it. It felt like it was worth every moment.
This was truly incredible. So as I said, Ravishing Rick Rude comes down the ring with Bobby Heenan, they catch us up on what's going on, that Ravishing Rick Rude is the winner of the Jesse the Body Award. So he's got an edge going into this thing.
Better than the Jesse the Body Ventura Body Award. That would be redundant.
That would be super weird. And then his opponent in the super pose down, and this is again what you're saying.
From Parts Unknown.
Well, I was going to say the adding of the word, because it's not just a pose down, it's a
super pose down?
Right, like not just the powers, but the
mega powers.
Yeah, to your point.
You add that's old advertising. You add a buzzword. You add international rules.
Yeah.
Super pose
down. I will go to anything that has a super pose down. You have an event wherever in the world and you put on the poster super pose down.
Yeah.
Got my money.
Scott and I will show up looking for muscle men's.
If that's there too.
That's a super pose down. Muscle men posing.
Oh, is that all it?
Oh, by the way, guys, this
could
was
also be troll dolls.
Yeah, guys, this is a bodybuilding competition between Ravishing Rick Rude and
the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, they did muscle posies. They did muscle posies for 17 minutes. It was incredible. It made me want to go to the gym.
Dad, let me just watch my muscle poses. Cool.
This is incredible. Son, I'm just so glad I have you in my life, and I just want to watch these muscle poses with you.
Oh, my God. Thank you, Matt Stryker. Muscle pose downs to the super degree. We first have
Ordinarily, this is super lame and stupid, and I couldn't care for it less. This was the coolest thing I'd seen. This was
they really sell the whole thing.
This
all the
was
way
like
through.
this was like a level. This was like a mini game and a JRPG. It was like a Japanese.
Yeah, and a Jim Ross playable game.
Yeah, and a Jim Ross playable game. And like a Japanese role-playing game. This is like a
power
mini
up, my God!
Get that chocobo and win that race.
Kill the hoss with your level 2 hammer.
Boom. This was awesome. I liked it. It was Ravishing Rick Rude dances when he poses.
He swings those hips around, huh?
I have to take a dance class.
They show off. They have the categories of is it arms?
I don't. They pose. They
like
do
upper
arms,
body. There's abs
and just general muscle pose.
Yeah, general muscle pose, and then I think they had the super muscle pose,
which was just
the final one,
flexing as much as you can.
The flexing as much as you can, and the crowd each time, very biased crowd. They vote for Ultimate Warrior each and every single time.
But Ravishing Rick Rude, quite a good physique.
He put on a hell of a show.
Quite a specimen.
And Bobby kept asking for more time, and he had this iron bar that he kept bending in preparation to get his muscles.
And I knew peaked. There was something about that bar, Scott. It was like he keeps using it, and I'm like, why would he bring that to the ring? Why would he be working out in the ring?
Oh, I assume you also thought there was something wrong with his robe and his mustache.
No. It's just that
he brought those to the ring.
It was just, you know what it was? It was almost like that object he brought with him was foreign. Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense.
International unidentifiable object?
Yeah, it was like he just brought this extra thing he didn't need to the ring, like he was going to use it for untoward purposes.
Untoward purposes indeed, because the Tor went right to the back of Ultimate Warrior's head, because the oil to the eyes didn't affect Ultimate Warrior.
It did. No, Bobby got him in the face with the eyes, and
and
he just opened his mouth and closed his eyes. But you couldn't tell because it was a giant arena. By the way, another kill shot, another headshot.
A kill shot right to the eyes, but where does it?
No, the pole right to the back. It wasn't to the back of the head. Every shot was at the base of the neck. It was right at the top of the neck, base of the skull.
Really going for a cripple shot.
Yeah, really just kill shot.
But the oil to the eyes was the funniest part of the entire segment, because Warrior just goes, bah!
But that was also the sound the bottle made when Bobby squeezed it.
Bah, bah. And just a huge beatdown by Rick Rude to almost cap this whole segment off, because you think that'd be it, that he beats him down and then gets out of there from losing each category of the competition unfairly, and then bolts out of the ring. And then a bunch of referees
and then officials.
Nick Bockwinkel is there to help Warrior up.
The Texas State Boxing Commission. He just had good seats. He wanted to see if he could help. He was there too.
Don King, George Foreman.
Yeah, a grill.
Yep. I'll be big someday. And
he was having meetings with Hogan. Hogan declined, much to his chagrin.
Yo, so stupid. It was like, well, just leave a message on my machine. But I wasn't home that day.
And it wasn't invented yet.
And Ultimate Warrior then proceeds to beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
And you know what it looked like? Unexpectedly so.
Yeah, it really seemed like a guy lashing out at a bunch of people helping him, which it was.
But it really seemed like all the refs and everybody who was getting the shit beat out of him, because you saw there were only 2 refs. And this is a time where there's not a lot of refs. They don't use a bunch all throughout the night.
Yeah.
So when they got thrown out of the ring.
Hebner was there too.
Hebner and Joey Morella.
I'm here now, guys.
Oh, hey. Hey, Earl.
Hey, I just want to let you guys know I remember that night.
Do you?
January 15th, 1989, Houston, Texas.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, tell us about it.
I can't talk about it. I just want to let you guys know that I remember it.
Well, Earl.
It was right after the super pose off.
Super pose off?
Pose down.
Yeah, super pose down.
I was listening and I heard what Steve said, and I remember it like it was yesterday, but the super pose down was a dangerous night.
Earl, I'd prefer you don't smoke in here.
I'd put it out, but I don't think my emotions will let me.
Earl, that whiskey's not for you. That's for a guest that we have scheduled for the show.
Well, I was seeing Rick Rude did quite a couple poses, and then at the end, he hit him. He hit Ultimate Warrior right in the back of the head.
Earl, could
right
you not
in the back of the head with a mailbox, really hurt him real bad.
Could you not dim the lights? And also, could you speak clearly when you talk into the microphone?
After Ultimate Warrior, we fought with the ring with all officials, and the whole time we.
Earl, I prefer that you not have Velvet Sky on your shoulder, just right now. She's very distracting as you're trying to tell the story that I'm trying to listen to.
And then, the unthinkable happened. Ultimate Warrior woke up.
Unblinkable?
The unthinkable happened. You know what happened? You know what happened? And Ultimate Warrior got up, and he went off script. He went way off script. He went so far off script, he pushed me. He pushed another official, too.
That's how Brandon Lee died, right? They went off squib?
No, Brandon Lee, son of Bruce Lee. Someone hadn't checked the gate on one of the firearms. It was a small piece that entered this. That's neither here nor there. But you can still see the footage of it on the DVD of The Crow and the unrated Blu-ray cut. Also, Ultimate Warrior grabbed me by the collar.
Earl, if you could
hurt me real bad.
If you could put down,
he hurt me real bad.
If you could put down that
Ultimate Warrior hurt me real bad.
In the
Ultimate Warrior hurt me real bad.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure. Earl, I have to burst your bubble right now. Earl, that was your brother.
I need that to breathe.
Earl, that was your brother Dave out there.
Dave Hebner?
You were backstage.
I was?
You were.
No.
That was your twin brother Dave.
We're still connected, you know.
I know. And I know you guys
feel
the same pain.
We have an umbilical cord.
No.
When he comes backstage, we reconnected.
I had never noticed it. You're showing it to me now. I hadn't noticed it. It has referee stripes on it.
Yeah, that's why nobody can see it.
That's why no one can see it. Oh my God!
It's a very easy misconception a person could make. 2 referees who look exactly the fucking same.
It is. There's that whole big story that happens on Saturday night's main event a couple months later, and which leads up to everything happening. Wait, did it already happen? Earl, can I have one of those cigarettes?
Yeah.
It was strange. I couldn't remember exactly my timeline on World Wrestling Federation of what happened with Saturday night's main event.
I'm sorry, Scott. Could you stop taking off your pants? It's really distracting when you're telling your story.
I mean, it all led to WrestleMania 4, and the championship being lost. And
Scott, I'm sorry. You seem to be trying to drink your Slurpee with your fingers, and it seems to be
perhaps it
kind
was
of counterproductive for
Earl
telling a
Hebner in
story.
the ring at the time, and I'm just confusing it, assuming that it was Dave Hebner. How presumptuous of me and how elitist of me. It's rather unfair when I have a guest come into the show and I think that I know better than them when they live the moments.
Scott, I'm sorry. I was wondering if I could get my parking validated. You seem to be in the middle of a story, but I just realized I parked in the parking garage.
Of course, Earl. I apologize. You were there. It was you there, but I'm glad
we'll
that
talk
I know
about
now.
it in a future episode.
I'm glad I know now that you have an umbilical cord with your twin brother that referee striped. I just hope that you guys are never too far apart.
The more you know.
Thanks, Earl. Here's your parking.
Thanks. Why is it so smoky in here? I go to the bathroom and it's just like, there's like Casa fucking Blanca in here.
I started smoking. I'm cool now, right?
You have, your upper lip is burned.
Yeah, I don't know which side the cigarette part goes in. They tell you smoking burns. It really does.
Yeah, it
really
certainly does.
Yeah, I don't want to put the other weird little spongy part on my mouth. That's gross.
That's the filter that goes in your mouth.
I don't like to filter my language.
Oh.
I don't like to filter myself. I like to just cut free.
Mature situations.
Posies.
Colorful language.
So Warrior beats everybody up, and that is the end of that segment. And then,
But I think we should really make that the truth now. Historically, Ultimate Warrior was not supposed to beat up anybody at 1989 Royal Rumble, and instead he beat up 7 officials.
yeah, the ref's like, "All right, you can throw us out of the ring. We're standing back up because we have to keep working, asshole."
And the crowd fucking loved it.
Yeah, and then Warrior just runs away.
That was right. He did just run away. It was very
runs
strange.
away.
I think maybe he had a moment of clarity, or maybe Ravishing Rick Rude really suffocated him, and he's the blood loss, and he woke up and he was in a blind rage.
Yeah, that's the other thing about this pay-per-view.
He was in
And
a
this
berserker
time-
rage like Wolverine.
Yeah, in this time frame, you realize there's choking. They choke all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If there was no choking in this era, good God, I don't know what these
A lot
bad
of
guys
hugs
would do.
and high fives.
Mhm. So, we then have the women's championship match. We have Judy Martin already in the ring. Sensational Sherry already in the ring, and wondering, oh, are these two going to fight? But no, the music hits. The all too familiar music that only Rockin' Robin's family would know, because it is not familiar to either one of us.
You didn't recognize her at all from growing up?
I thought maybe it was her, but
Did
I
you
didn't
know Judy
recognize her
Martin?
music.
Did you know Judy Martin?
No.
But you recognize Sensational Sherry?
Yes, I know Sensational Sherry, but Rockin' Robin's like, is that who it's going to be? I was trying to think of Alundra Blaze. I thought maybe it was her.
That's not my time period. I don't know.
Or there's another lady, too, and I'm totally blanking on her name right now. Joan Jett. It could have been Joan Jett.
That would have been great.
But it's Rockin' Robin. She's the champion, and she's facing Judy Martin. But Sensational Sherry lets her know that you're going to face the winner. She's facing the winner, whoever that may be. You have to then fight Sensational Sherry. Sensational Sherry then goes up to the commentary table. And let's just say, I don't think she was very thirsty on this night, if you catch my drift.
Oh, you're implying that she was drunk as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really funny because she was just talking mad shit about everybody. And it wasn't like mean-spirited. It was just more like, shut up, you're stupid.
Come on, just win somebody. Just
Somebody-
win.
Oh, you're going to win like that? That's great because I'm going to take the title because I'm the women's champion. Not yet, but almost. Get ready for it. And this whole time it was like watching two moms fight.
Yeah.
Like Judy Martin, like
Judy Martin looks like your best friend's mom growing up.
And Rockin' Robin looks like your other best friend's mom were growing up. And which is really,
Or Kristen Wiig character.
Yeah, she looked exactly like a Kristen Wiig character. Did you ever see Lipstick and Dynamite?
No, I didn't.
It's a great documentary. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that, I think, is really... that made a lot of sense because I'd seen Lipstick and Dynamite, which is... It's a documentary about female wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
And
showcases Moolah and Mae Young, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's pretty great across the board, but it also reminds you that half of these people had, like, back in the day, if you wouldn't make it super huge, you also had, like, you know, another day job and also a family. And this was like, oh, yeah, these women were trained as wrestlers. They're also in whatever field, as well as having kids and raising a family. And that's sort of what it looks like. They don't look like divas. They don't look like supermodels.
No.
They look like working
They don't
class.
look like athletes.
Yeah, they look like working class women who are busting their ass. I mean, like it literally looks like your best friend's mom, like doing a backflip, or taking a forearm smash in the face.
A lot.
Yeah,
This was a lengthy match.
It was really funny.
It wasn't your TV women's match, even your pay-per-view women's match where you're going, 6 minutes and then we're done, and that's including entrances. This was like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, they let them go. And the entire time, it's Sherry.
Whatever, none of them are good.
So, like, it was
See her little boobies poking out of her shirt.
It was a decent... Yeah, she's so skinny. What is that supposed to be? Like, she
can't even fit 3 dicks in her mouth.
She was talking about how, like she could barely lift her up. Yeah, like, so even for what was a decent match, it was Sherry just burning them the entire time. She was burning everybody.
Yeah.
Get away from me. That's what she said. She said that to Gorilla Monsoon at one point. She told him to get away from her.
Get away from her.
They're sitting next to each other.
You gotta look up Judy Martin on Google, everybody. It might be a difficult search. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's not in the WWE archives, but you gotta check this lady out because she is one tough mom.
Yeah, she's like a tiger mom.
Oh, incredible match in that it is what it is for the time period it is. It's not a classic match by any means. It's not something that you go, this is amazing. I'm not even saying you got to see it. It's just really incredible for the time of women's wrestling for what it was.
Yeah.
And we'll probably never get any recognition for any of it. It's just a time period that's forgotten. But god damn, these women work their asses off.
Yeah, like I feel like you get they weren't going to wrestle probably for the next, month or so?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it wasn't going to be on weekly TV. So they went back to whatever their job
live
was.
Events and stuff here and there. But a credit to them. That's it's worth watching for that because doesn't
the entire 1989 Royal Rumble is worth watching for that.
It doesn't hold up to your normal standards of what a wrestling match is, but to see what they do, it's incredible. It is incredible. So Rockin' Robin wins with a cross senton splash that she tricks her with and gets a pinfall. And Robin celebrates with her boobs poking out of her shirt. And then in the back, we go to the Twin Towers. Yes, indeed. That's Akeem, the African Dream, which Steve said. I wrote it down in case you didn't remember.
What did I say?
That's Akeem? That's a white dude.
This is true.
And they're with Big Boss Man and Slick being interviewed by Sean Mooney. They say stuff, but Steve saying that was what it was all about.
Well, also, like, Scott and I were talking about this in terms of how did Akeem come to be, and I think that Scott was like, why couldn't they get a black guy? And I'm under the impression that they thought it was brilliant to get a white guy for it.
And you know what? You're fucking right. You're completely fucking right.
And like no one, I guarantee, no one said like, but he's a white guy. What's he gonna do? And like Akeem probably was like, yeah, I'm not really sure what I can do. It's like, don't worry. And I'm sure Vince was like, we'll give you an intricate sort of African Bambaataa sort of vibe on your tights, and also do this.
Yeah, Steve's right. Vince showed him the arm gyrations that he just does as a nervous tick seemingly all the time.
Whenever you see
like his Tourette's.
Just remember this. This is crucial. Whenever you see somebody doing a physical maneuver that's not wrestling related, be it the crotch chop or any sort of small dance move, just assume that
D'Lo Brown had Bob with
all
arms
of those things. Just assume Vince McMahon was like, no, like this. Came up to them and pantomimed it for them.
Did it? The guy tried to recreate it, and then he says, no, like this.
Yeah. And so whenever you're on camera and you're not talking, dance like this.
So we had that, and then we cut to Heenan and Ravishing Rick Rude again. They're bailing the arena, and then this was amazing. They cut to more interviews for hyping the Royal Rumble, and they cut to Mr. Fuji in front of. They now are doing the logos in the background of the blue screen. They weren't doing that before. They cut to Mr. Fuji talking for Powers of Pain. I look at Steve's face.
I looked just like Mr. Fuji. My eyes got really big because he had paint on his face.
And you, as Mr. Fuji's talking, you just go, "What the fuck?"
He looks like Oddjob from Goldfinger, But he's got face paint on.
That was his former tag team partner.
Odd Job?
Uh-huh. That guy was a wrestler.
Wasn't that guy also a rapist and murderer?
I don't know. It wasn't his gimmick at the time.
No, I don't think it was. I'm sure there's some of our listeners yelling at us. They know the answer.
No, just a rapist, not a murderer.
Gah!
So,
what was the name of that tag team?
Watching Mr. Fuji talk, watching Steve watch Mr. Fuji talk is like watching a cat watch a laser pointer.
It is really strange.
It's incredible.
Because Fuji, it's when I first see it, you don't I'm like, is this supposed to be racist? Is it not supposed to be racist? Is this racist? And then I'm like, people are working, right? That's important that people are working. And then
Steve's clutching his head as he asks.
I'm just trying to work my way through it. And then I got to know how much of a character is it? Did he decide to put paint on his face? Did Vince McMahon?
That goes along with the powers of pain.
Oh yeah,
that's what that goes with.
Did Vince McMahon stop him in the hallway and said, "No, put this on your face"?
I don't know. We had Miss Elizabeth talking about the Mega Powers, Jimmy Hart talking for Honky Tonk Man, and then slow down a little bit tonight. We go into King Haku with Bobby Heenan versus the former King Harley Race in a two guys wearing purple outfits match.
Yeah, this is how we could tell it was a little bit. I mean, that's one of the few differences that I feel like between now and then. Oh, I'm sorry, besides the 1,000 differences between now and then. But no, you wouldn't have two guys go out in the same color because some publicity guy or marketing guy would be like, hey, you can't have those guys wearing the same colors. How are people supposed to tell them apart?
Well, I don't know, Mr. Fackelstein.
Look. What you gotta do is you gotta bleach that guy's hair and give him a perm, and then you gotta stay away from that Samoan guy because he scares the shit out of me.
Well, all right. Here's some pineapple.
Thank you. I eat it like a piece of corn.
This match is.
Let's speed through this one.
It's not our style. It's not.
It was like watching a Samoan guy beat up your grandpa.
Yeah,
a big muscly grandpa.
And respect to both guys, but they've never been two of my favorites, and their styles don't mesh well.
And Haku came out on a throne carried by a bunch of jobbers,
with shirts off and ring gear on.
Yeah, that was the best part. They didn't get the Undertaker's robes. They didn't dress him up. They were like, nope, put your gear on, carry him out. So you didn't even get any anonymity, but they did because I didn't recognize any of them.
True.
You die twice. The day you die and the last person that ever says your name.
Those are all grandfathers of Judy Martin, Rockin' Robbins, and Sensational Sherry. They're all related.
Oh yeah, that's how it would have been, right? Back in the day?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So, we didn't dig it. And then we get more Royal Rumble interviews.
Actually, you know what? The best part about that match was you telling me how Haku was the baddest motherfucker ever in the locker room. He was the guy that everybody you respected because he would fuck you up real bad.
True.
And if you were on his good side, you were on his good side, but you didn't want to get on his bad side.
And that's why he won with a patented reverse thrust kick.
Patented.
And he fucking clocked Harley Race in the head, too.
Well, Harley Race got a big old hard head.
I'm
telling you hit him too hard, he's not going to want to get up again. We got another show in Austin on Monday night.
Well, all right. We'll pack it up once we're done. Don't worry, the trucks are outside. We got the Royal Rumble interviews. We have a bunch. We have Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Greg the Hammer Valentine, who looks like Brock Lesnar's fugly sister at this point. We got Powers of Pain, Mr. Fuji's there again, Big John Studd, who I never realized really looks like a swollen Jerry Lynn, Mr. Perfect, Macho Man, $1 Million Man, Bobby Heenan, Brainbusters, Andre the Giant, and Hulk Hogan.
Andre the Giant's great because he sounds like a giant. He sounds like a mystical creature.
A French robot winding down.
Mm-hmm.
That seemed like the interview that took that captivated you the most.
Well, we were talking about this. I'm a big fan of the promos and pay-per-views. I love if you can't watch the video package, if you can't watch 6 weeks of build-up, then I love getting to see it compressed into a 4-minute package where it's just like, great, you've told me the story. Now I get to see the outcome. Thank you. It's the opening cinematic to a video game. Now you get to play. Now you get to see the adventure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, Macho Man Randy Savage.
So, yeah, you're saying you could do without the interviews, is that it?
No. What I was saying, Macho Man, was
yeah.
I like the package, but since they weren't doing the video package back then, the interviews function in the same way. They tell the story. You, sir, are the narrator.
Which was the best interview? Which was the most interesting one who talked?
To be completely honest,
George Washington style. Did you chop down this tree?
I did not chop down this tree. I cannot tell a lie. I chopped down this tree.
That was a lie in there somewhere.
Was there?
You started with, I did not chop down this tree. I cannot tell a lie. I chopped down this tree.
Yeah.
Liar, liar. Now time to set your pants on fire.
Now, I honestly
Give me your pants.
What?
Fork them over. It's time to light them up.
Macho Man Randy Savage, I thought we were friends.
Pants off.
Well,
come on.
Scott took his pants off earlier when he was talking about Earl.
He didn't lie to me yet. If he lies to me, I'm lighting him on fire.
The show is young.
They're going in the fire pit right now.
Hey,
Here we go.
Why would we have this? Why did Scott?
For such an occasion, I especially requested this.
Scott, why is there a hearth in here?
Because Macho Man Randy Savage requested it in case we ever have liars in here.
And what about the fucking Oracle? Why is she here? Is she gonna tell us our future?
Yes, she is. That is what she provides, to know what gets jerked next. Who will be the next guest on the show? Yeah.
All right.
All these things. Don't you want an oracle to tell you these types of things?
I ordered these pants online, and if you're gonna burn them, you're gonna have to order another pair.
Well, there you go. You get more pants. You're treating yourself.
It's not more pants. You're eliminating. You've just burned my pants.
Lit right up.
You eliminated the pants. I'm replacing pants at this point.
Lit right up.
Well,
that's what liars do.
They're Wrangler dress jeans. It's no cotton.
Are they a sponsor of the show? Why are you talking about them so much?
Wrangler dress jeans, maker of the roomy crotch.
Boy, that's got to be nice to have Wrangler as a sponsor of the podcast.
Well, we're working on it.
Yeah. Best interview of the night for the Rumble.
Andre the Giant and yours, I thought, had the most intensity.
But who's the bitter one? Who's the bitter one?
How about this? I think you had the better interview. I think Andre the Giant had the better just promo.
What is that supposed to mean?
Andre the Giant wasn't asked any questions. He just started talking, and you were talking with me and Gene Okerlund. So in terms of an interview, I think you stole it.
But I'm talking about, so I'm not the best, is what you're saying.
No, you gave the best interview.
Well, let me also assume you think Hulk Hogan's the best, huh?
No.
Yeah, you think he's better than me.
No.
But spoiler
Macho
alert,
Man,
jumping ahead, he eliminated me along with Bad News Brown.
Macho Man, I just want to let you know something. I don't think you're jealous at all. I think you're perfectly justified in the way you feel about Mega Powers. I think you are the Mega Powers, and I think Hogan is bringing you down.
He is bringing me down.
And to be completely honest, I think I saw him eyeballing your manager.
He was balling my manager?
Eyeballing.
Hulk Hogan was balling my manager?
I said eyeballing. I meant eyeballing.
That is outrageous.
I said eyeballing.
Stuffing his balls inside of Elizabeth?
No.
He was balling her?
Eyeballing.
Son of a bitch. That no good yellow son of a bitch. Steve Sears, I am buying you those pair of Wrangler pants.
No, I don't.
For being so honest about Hulk Hogan putting his balls inside of Miss Elizabeth.
Scott.
All the years, all the times I trusted Hulk Hogan. Yeah. And then I come to find out from Steve Sears' trusted friend and co-host of the Curtain Jerks podcast, Hulk Hogan stuffed his balls inside of Miss Elizabeth, my wife.
I did not say that.
You said it all right. I heard you say it. Play back the tape.
My ball and your manager.
Heard it right there in the headphones. Thank you, Edge. There we go. It is right there. So, I will get him. On behalf of you, Steve Sears, I will end Hulk Hogan. I will cut off his balls, and I will give them to you. We will make jeans out of his balls.
I do not want those jeans.
We will make leathery jeans out of Hulk Hogan's balls. Wrangle them up and put them on Steve Sears. Thank you. I am the best, and I will be the best for you.
Well, thank you,
Hulk Hogan's balls to jeans to Steve Sears. Yeah.
Thank you, Macho Man. Scott?
Yeah?
I need a glass of water. I'm a little panicked. Did you hear any of that?
I heard all of that. Congratulations on getting a new pair of jeans.
I know. They sound like they're going to be leather. I'm really excited.
Well, they're Hulk Hogan's balls. I mean, let's be honest. They're going to be really leathery.
Well, wait. Was that Macho Man from then or Macho Man from now?
God, can't you even tell?
My bad.
He was right in front of you. And then we have the Royal Rumble match itself. 30 participants. This is the second Royal Rumble, of course. I have the anthology here with the first 5 Rumbles, volume 1 of the anthology. And I looked at the first one, and I remembered pieces of it. I've never seen it, but the first one has only 20 entrants. And I knew this one had, they showed a picture of Jake the Snake on there, and Steve wanted to see Jake the Snake, and I'm like, we got to go with this one. So we chose this one, the second Rumble in history, 30 participants. The champion, Macho Man, was the champion at the time, and he participates. It's just like
there was no championship match.
Right.
In this entire pay-per-view. There was no belts. There was no...
And there's no WrestleMania matchup for that. If you won, that wasn't something that came until a couple years later. This was a completely
self-contained pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's this own sort of achievement of winning the Rumble. You have that stat. You have that credit to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the only thing really at stake. So you have big names in here. I'll go through just some of them because there's 30 fucking names, and not everybody probably knows who all these guys are. We started off number 1, Axe from Demolition.
Oh, who's he gonna face off against?
And Finkel says number 2 at random, and then it's Smash from Demolition. He let us know again, like, hey everybody, this could have been anybody.
Yeah, just so you know.
And they start laying into each other. They start beating each other down. And right away, number 3, you got Andre the Giant. And then they turn on Andre and they're fighting. And then you got Mr. Perfect coming in there. You got Ronnie Garvin. I'm surprised he stayed awake. Greg the Hammer Valentine. And then boom, Jake the Snake Roberts comes in.
Very cool.
Very excited.
I didn't even see his entrance because I didn't even see it.
It was so fast.
There was no music.
Starts wailing away on Andre the Giant. Starts going after him. And Andre just chokes him for like a good 2 minutes. Just choking him on the top rope with these iconic Andre faces, just sneering, and
he's a giant.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
He's got those baby teeth, just choking him out, and then
those giant pig eyes.
Shortly thereafterwards, then eliminates Jake the Snake Roberts, and it was pretty quick. Like he choked the life out of him and then got rid of him.
Yeah.
Then we had other participants coming in. Shawn Michaels showed up at one point.
Also, we should point out that everybody who wrestles at this point in time in 1989 all look like a guy who worked at the hardware store. Like and not like a Home Depot. They all look like a guy who works at a mom and pop hardware store, either their son or the very gruff dad.
I'm looking through, with the exception of Andre the Giant. I think I completely agree with you.
Like every single person looks like in another world they would either be barbarians or contractors.
You know what? I totally agree with you. And except Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels.
Unless he's the kid, junior. He's a junior in high school.
Yeah,
and got the summer job there at the
lumber mill.
Yeah, just hitting on all the girls.
Yeah, it's funny.
Hey, come on, get back to work.
Hey,
hey, it's Michaels, bro. So they got these guys, and then out of nowhere, when Coco Beware enters the ring, they thought this was the time to do it. Jake the Snake Roberts comes back in with Damien.
The snake.
Yes. Very good, Steve.
Not the little boy.
Oh, but man, that would have
been weird.
That would have been hard to eliminate those guys after their heads are popped.
Yeah.
So he throws Damien the Snake into the ring, and then Andre clears house over the top rope onto the outside because he's petrified of snakes. So that was the cool moment because I remember that and I thought you wanted to see that.
That was badass.
Jake the Snake. And then you got your Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. They're coming in there. And then as Macho talked about, there's that moment of Bad News Brown was trying to eliminate Macho Man, and Hulk Hogan just goes by and scoops them both out. Macho Man gets pissed.
He was pissed.
Immediately gets into Hogan's face and just pointing the finger in his face and pie facing him. And Elizabeth comes out to try and save the day. And they make up as friends and get along. And then Hogan's back in it. And then he gets eliminated by the Big Boss Man and Akeem.
So
the Twin Towers.
Immediately, interest level just drops.
Drops fucking huge.
No Macho Man, no Hogan, no Jake the Snake, no Andre the Giant, no Shawn Michaels.
Because you're your participants after that happens. You have Big Boss Man, Akeem, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Red Rooster, Barbarian, Big John Studd, Hercules, Rick Martel, $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. The majority of those guys are bad guys. $1 Million Man was the only one I was interested in, but fuck. Like, I don't want Rick Martel to win. I don't want Red fucking Rooster to win.
Mm-hmm.
Interest just tanks.
Yeah, really at that point, I really zoned out.
Your last two guys are Big John Studd and $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. I had forgotten who wins this thing. I assumed it was $1 Million Man because he bought number 30. That's how he was the number 30 entrant. He paid for it.
I remembered that Big John Studd from a promo package that they showed in, I think it was the 2000 or 2001 Royal Rumble, where Cactus Jack fought Triple H. And then they went down a list, the stats,
They
and
like
I
to do
remember
that,
seeing
yeah.
the footage of Big John Studd. Spoiler alert.
He's your winner. Big John Studd wins it.
Speaking of which, one of my favorite Royal Rumbles is that one with Cactus Jack and Triple H as the main event.
Yeah, Royal Rumble 2000.
Very cool.
Mae Young's titties. Mae Young's titties.
And an awesome table match between Jeff Hardy and some guy and the Dudley Boys.
And you
Dudley Boys. The Dudley Boys and the Hardy Bros.
You get to see Mae Young's sweet old titties in there.
Good day. Good day for the race.
Good day.
Good day for the race, huh? The human race.
And then to close things out, you have Big John Studd then beating the living shit out of Virgil.
Well, Virgil stepped into the ring and tried to start some business.
Right. And he could have beat him up a little bit, but he kept beating him up.
Yo, Big John Studd just did not sell at that point. He was like, huh? And he just started.
He kept throwing him off the ropes and clotheslining him and slamming him and then throw him off the ropes again. It's like, throw him out of the damn ring. My God.
And then an immediate cut to the locker room where the real action's happening.
You had Macho Man talking about he was sorry and he forgave Hulk Hogan for what had happened. And it looks like they're in a bathroom with Macho Man sweating in his trunks, Miss Elizabeth in a nice dress, and Mean Gene wearing a tuxedo.
Remember when Mean Gene was like, well, Miss Elizabeth, he had a lot of trouble saying Miss Elizabeth. Miss Elizabeth, do you mind if I ask you a few questions? Like, how is it going to be as the manager of these two people that could be fighting
These
during...
two powers that are mega.
That are mega. He goes in for the microphone, and she's like, yeah, it'll be difficult, but I think we... And then Macho Man just swooped in and took over again. She seems like a really sweet lady.
Yeah. I can't believe Hulk Hogan put his balls in her.
You know, that's unsubstantiated.
You know what?
I gotta be careful with what I say more often.
We should have teased this at the beginning of the show, but we have something to close out this Royal Rumble Get Strict episode. We have not a super pose down. How are you gonna see that? How you listeners gonna see that? What, us put it on our YouTube page and do that? Oil ourselves up and have a super pose down? Steve is fucking terrified.
I've never seen Scott that way before. I do that regularly for myself, but I don't know if I'm ready to share that with people.
We are having a super throat down. Not between Steve and myself.
No.
No.
We went to the premier orators, the premier singers, the premier songbirds of the wrestling universe.
Frequent guests of the show, Jeff Hardy and John Laurinaitis. They are going to have a super throwdown. And you're going, what's that going to be? That's a singing competition, y'all.
That is a singing competition.
That is a singing competition for you listeners. A special treat. The two finest singers in all of wrestling. We got them here today. Jeff Hardy, John Laurinaitis. Please come in, gentlemen. Gentlemen, please come in. Jeff Hardy, please, so everybody recognizes your voice. Jeff Hardy, if you could speak first now.
Hey, y'all. How you doing? It's good. Thanks for having me. About ready to blow everybody's minds with some sweet tunes.
We're looking forward to it. We're so excited.
And Mr. Laurinaitis, if you could please step up to the microphone and let everyone know your sweet singing voice.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm looking to finally showcase my talents in competition form.
Quick aside from before we get to the singing portion of this competition, I was wondering, Mr. Laurinaitis, where were you in 1989? Wouldn't you have been in the wrestling community right there at WWF?
I was in Japan.
Ah,
I was in Japan being a dude.
Oh, one of the dynamic dudes.
One of the dynamic dudes.
Rarely do we get to see 6'5", 15-year-old boys.
And you know what was interesting? You know, an interesting thing. While I was in Japan and cut my promos as they were, people would come up to me and say, you know, you should be a singer. And I go, oh, yeah, maybe someday. And I wasn't taking it seriously at all.
Well, with that, Mr. Laurinaitis, you won the coin toss backstage. Would you be willing to go first?
I would be willing to go first. I will first sing. I know the rules are we sing songs of our choice. So I'll be singing a song of my choice, so a personal favorite of mine, Stone Cold Steve Austin's theme song.
Okay. Wow. What an opening song.
That was impressive.
Very impressive.
That's impressive.
Now, Jeff Hardy, are you prepared to go second?
Hey, Jeff, yeah, do you have a song prepared?
Yeah, man, I have an original composition for you guys today.
Oh.
It is called Moonlight Energy's Crystal of the Sun.
Oh, very exciting. Jeff Hardy.
Moonlight, moonlight, moonlight energies, crystal of the sun, crystal of the sun. Moonlight, moonlight, go find your light, moonlight. Love you, baby, all the time, crystal of the sun, crystal of the sun.
Wow. That was exceptional. That was exceptional.
Thank you, man.
I mean,
Yeah,
will that
I
be
did.
coming out soon?
Yeah, just it needs a little bit more mixing, I think. But yeah, I'm ready for
I
it.
don't know how much more mixing you can do for a song like that. I mean, this is incredible. I think we should go to our.
Should we go to our judges?
Yeah, I think we should go to our judges and see.
Okay, we've got Jack Swagger. We have Edge. Edge is in the booth.
And we have Luke Harper.
I had Luke Harper, so we're just gonna go to the in-studio judges. Luke Harper, out of John Laurinaitis and Jeff Hardy, we'll see if we'll just give us a word of affirmation for both. John Laurinaitis.
Yeah.
Was that 5 or 4, Scott?
That was 4.
That was 4. And Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Was that 5?
That was also 4.
Oh, it was also 4. Okay. And then we'll also just go to Edge in the booth.
Yeah, Edge.
I found John Laurinaitis' work to be unassuming yet haunting.
Uh-huh.
And Jeff Hardy's an old pal, so I also would like to say that I found his music to be quite uplifting.
All right, so haunting versus uplifting. I'm taking the last word that he said for each one. So haunting versus uplifting. I assume uplifting is the more positive word. So it sounds
And
like that's
Jack
my favorite.
seems to be stunned into silence. He's just like, his mouth is agape, but I'm sure he's got something to say.
Sweet Jesus.
Jack, are you...
I was emotionally struck.
You seem completely moved, Jack.
Yeah. It just sometimes causes for reevaluations in one's life when you just see live music like this.
Live music does often have an effect.
I see you're also crying too. You're crying for my crying.
Yes, if you start crying, I'm going to start crying.
Hold on. I'll suck it back in.
Just suck it back in.
Yeah, you know, for that round, I think I'll have to go with Jeff Hardy.
Okay, so Jack Swagger says Jeff Hardy. What's the final vote then? We have 4 yeahs for John Laurinaitis, 4 yeahs for Jeff Hardy. We have a
What was uplifting?
haunting and moving from...
Oh, it was haunting and moving.
The haunting and moving for John Laurinaitis, yet it was uplifting for...
Well, we can't check the tape on this. We already used up our one tape check.
Yeah, we've already done our one.
You know what? Sorry, by default then, by what we have to remember, Jeff Hardy wins that round.
Oh, okay.
Jeff Hardy wins that round.
How many rounds are there?
There's 3.
Okay.
3 rounds. 3 rounds. It's a super throat down, Steve.
Okay, of course.
Gentlemen, Jeff Hardy, would you like to begin this round, or would you like to pass it to John?
No, man, I'll take this round.
Okay.
I'll take this round.
Okay.
This one's a little bit more in depth, so I just want you to open yourself up to it. All right.
Okay. What's this piece called?
This one is called Snake-Faced Energy.
Okay.
Grace, my father.
Wow. Was that a tribute to your brother and your father?
No, man, it was about a snake that has its own face energy. Kind of something that you can release inside yourself. You know, the Chinese people mine jade, and a lot of people find that it has a cooling energy. I also find it to be the snake stone.
Okay, well, I know you had mentioned grapes, and your brother Matt Hardy loves grapes, and you also said my father. So,
Hey, man, it's not all about wrestling, all right?
all right. I just, sometimes I get excited when I think I know lyrics to a song and what they mean. But again,
Hey, you know what's really important to
0 for
remember?
1,000.
When you're happy, you like the music. When you're sad, you understand the lyrics.
Well, I guess I'm happy then because I didn't understand the lyrics. I thought I did.
Scott, I'm happy too because this is round 2 and John Laurinaitis is now up on deck.
All right, you put the paint on my face. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I thought we would both wear our face paint during Jeff Hardy's set.
Yeah, so. I know. I thought you were high-fiving me, but you just smeared paint across my face.
Yeah, when I put my hand up and you put your hand up, and then I deftly avoided your hand to rub paint on your face.
I didn't expect it, so all right.
Mr. Laurinaitis, you are up, please.
Yes, all right. Well, in honor of the 1989 Royal Rumble, I will be singing Ravishing Rick Rude's theme song.
Okay. Well, Mr. Laurinaitis, I think that's really... Excuse me. I'm going to let you finish in just a second, Steve Sears. But it's Edge right now, and I have something to say.
No, Edge has something to say.
Mr. Laurinaitis, I think this point goes to you.
Wow, Edge, the rated R superstar, has just declared that point going... I mean, do we have...
Luke,
Luke, do you
agree with Luke, do you agree with Edge's declaration?
Yeah.
All right. And Jack, how do you feel? Does that point to Laurinaitis?
Well, I don't want to look. Edge and I are good friends, so I'll disagree with Edge because I think he's a super fella. So I'll agree with that.
Oh, you will disagree?
I agree with that.
Okay. Oh well, sorry, Jeff. It looks like this point goes to Mr. Laurinaitis. Hey, man, that's all right.
Well, all right. Well, we have the third round in.
This is the final round of the singing showdown.
Yeah, the throat down.
Super
throat down.
Super throat down.
So, gentlemen, who wants it? Raise your hand.
You're both raising your hand.
Both raising your hand.
Okay, how about this? Both put your hands down.
Okay.
And raise your hand. You guys raise it at the same time.
All right. Look, Mr. Laurinaitis, how about you go first?
Yeah, Mr. Laurinaitis, please go first.
Well, to close this out, to close the competition, and to win the final point, and to be the champion of the Super Throwdown, I will be singing China's theme song.
Okay, which one?
China's theme song.
But the... please, I'll find out. Yeah, I'll find out. Of course, sir.
It's forthcoming. Don't treat me like a woman. Don't treat me like a man. Don't treat me like you know me. Treat me for just who I am. Oh, don't treat me like a woman. Don't treat me like a man. Just treat me like you know me. Treat me like I'm a woman with a vagina. Just treat me like a woman. I don't have testicles. I dated Triple H. Didn't turn out so good. I hate Stephanie McMahon. She is fucking good. I'm gonna punch her in her face once I'm done with reality TV.
I don't...
Hey, wow, that song, the China theme song, originally made famous by Meredith Brooks of the 90s fame.
I don't remember the C word being in there.
What C word?
Cunt.
Really?
Yeah, he sang it.
Meredith Brooks was quite a singer-songwriter, Scott. I think she knew what she was doing.
Well, that's the lady from Family Ties, right?
No, Meredith Brooks was the singer who sung China's theme song.
Singer who sung China's theme song?
She's the singer who wrote China's theme song.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm so excited to hear what Jeff has for the final song. What is this one called?
What?
What is this piece called?
What?
Is this called what?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Every dragon, finds a cheeseburger with your name on it. Get yourself ready for the new paradigm. Find a tree and set it on fire.
Wow. If I'm not mistaken, I think I've heard you practicing that song when you're put on hold when we're going to interview you.
Hey, you know what, man? Music is a process, and it's like you gotta exercise that muscle and get that piece out into the world.
Right,
man.
That was fantastic.
Hey, thanks. Just do what I can.
Well, let's go to the judges. Let's go to Jack Swagger first and see who he has to vote for.
Yeah, Jack. What's your verdict?
Well, it's a tough one, guys, but I've always been a huge fan of China, and if I wasn't with my wife currently, I'd be spanking that ass just like X-Pac. So, gonna go with John Laurinaitis.
All right, that's a point for John Laurinaitis. I think
Let's go to Edge.
We'll go to Edge. Yeah, let's find out. Edge, what do you got? Gentlemen, this has been an incredible competition, and I'd like to say that I'm really enjoying it. And thank you for letting me be a part of it. I also appreciate getting to be outside of the audio booth. I'd like to say also that, all right, Edge, thank you very much. Just picture who's your guy.
Yeah, and here's your ice cream cone.
Oh, thank you. I really enjoy ice cream since I've retired. I'm going to have to go with Jeff Hardy, and I'm going to share this ice cream cone with him.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Well,
it's pretty tight.
so-
We're 1-1 and 1-1 in the voting, Scott.
So here, let's break the vote here with Luke Harper.
By
who
asking-
do you choose?
yeah.
Who do you vote for?
Yeah.
That's it's neither one. That's
Yeah, Luke, who did you choose?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
he voted the same. You can't fault him for that. It's.
Is it a split? Was it?
I think that's a tie. I think.
Do we have a tie?
We have a tie.
This Super Throwdown has become the first ever tie and the first ever Super Throwdown.
Yeah, there's a tie in our Super Throwdown. Gentlemen, congratulations! You're both winners.
Hey, man, awesome. Congratulations, Mr. Laurinaitis.
Congratulations to you as well, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Hey, guys, is it all right if I'm still out of the audio booth, or do you still need me in the tech?
Get back in the booth, Edge.
Are you
Leave
sure?
your ice cream cone in here. Don't get ice cream in the booth.
I'm not done with that ice cream yet.
Yeah, but the judging is over. You got ice cream for judging, and the judging is over. Yeah. Luke, stay out of this. Luke, stay out of this.
I don't appreciate your friend staring at me and saying yes all the time.
Yeah. Guys, don't start a rumble in here right now. Do not start a rumble in here right now.
I will spear you hard.
Who are you talking to right now? Who are you going to spear?
I was not-
keep your balls out of Elizabeth right
I
now.
was
You
not
can
talking
understand
to you,
everybody.
Mr. Savage.
No, I have the power of
I was
silence.
not talking to you,
Yeah,
Mr. Savage. Bend minds.
Get in there. Put your balls in there.
Swagger.
Guys,
All right,
hold
guys,
up.
guys, just
They're
calm
fighting.
down.
Guys,
Calm down.
okay,
All right,
they're
everybody.
fighting.
Okay,
Look,
just
we
take it
gotta
easy.
wrap it up. They're fighting right now.
All right.
Look, everybody, for Curtain Jerks, this has been the Royal Rumble 1989 Gets Jerked episode. This is Pandemonium here. We've had the first
Ow,
ever
you're on my foot. You're on my foot.
Super Throwdown.
Ow, you're on my foot.
Oh, God. So we gotta wrap this up. For Curtain Jerks, I'm Scott Narver.
I'm Steve Sears.
Enjoy your wrestling, kids. Yeah. Ow!
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.